ॐ त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देवदेव श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तिसुदेशिकेन्द्रं द्वैपायनं सूत्रकृतं मुनीन्द्रं श्रीशङ्करं भाष्यकृतं यतीन्द्रं मद्देशिकञ्चापि नमामि विद्यै। ॐ नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्मविद्या सम्प्रदायकर्तृभ्यो वंशऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। सर्वोपप्लवरहितप्रज्ञानगणः प्रत्यगर्तो ब्रह्मैवाहमस्मि। ॐ प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। Pranams everyone. So we are doing the 16th chapter where Bhagavan is explaining the Daiva Asura Sampat. What are the Daivi qualities, Daiva qualities, and what are the Asura qualities? The first three shlokas he had enumerated all the Daiva qualities, and then from the fourth shloka onwards it was focusing more on the Asura qualities. And in the last class we had done from 16th to 18th, where in the 16th sloka the Asuras' attitude was described. The Asuras' attitude being Aneka Chitta Vibrantaha. They have innumerable fantasies, but always in Mohajala Samavritaha. They are always encircled by the net of delusion. And they only focus on Kama Bhogeshu, enjoyment of sense objects. And by doing so, they fall into a foul hell. Patanti Ashuchau Narake. So this is what Bhagavan said in the 16th shloka. And then in the 17th shloka, it is about the way they worship. They do their pujas or they do their yajnas. How do they do? First of all, they are Atma Sambhavitaha. They do their Atma Suti. They praise themselves. Then they are arrogant, Stabdaha. And they are full of vanity and haughtiness. And that they get because of the wealth they possess. Dhanamana Vidhanvitaha. And how do they worship? Dambena Yajante. They worship pretentiously. And how do they do their pujas or yajnas? Nama Yajnaihi. For the name's sake, they do a puja, nominal yajnas. And they do it with no regard to scriptural rules. Avidhi Purvakam. That was what 17th shloka Bhagavan said about the way they worship. They do their pujas and yajnas. We saw what are the things that we need to do from a vidhi standpoint in the last class. And then in the 18th shloka, basically it explained how the Asuras hate. What do they hate mainly? We'll come to that. But before that, Bhagavan again describes them that they are given to ego, power, arrogance, desire, anger, etc. They have ahankaram, balam, darpam, kamam, krodham, cha, etc. All these things they have. And given to all these things, they hate me. Pradvishantaha mam. And Bhagavan says, when he says hates me, it is not that he is insecure. Bhagavan is not insecure, because Bhagavan says, I am. He also qualifies himself. He says, Atma para deheshu. I am in the body of them, the Asuras themselves. I am within their body. And I am also within the body of others. And yet they hate me. And when he says they hate me, it means they do not follow Dharma Shastras. They do not follow Dharma. And Bhagavan says, these slanderers, Abhyasuyakaha, they hate me. They don't follow Dharma. They don't have any belief in Dharma Shastra. Now in Sloka 19 onwards, especially 19 and 20, Bhagavan is going to tell them what sort of treatment they are going to get, or what will be the fate of these people beyond this life. For such an asura, what will be the fate of these people beyond this life? So we'll see. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha, Sloka number 19. Tanaham dvishatah kruran samsareshu naradhaman Shipam yajastram shubhan asurishveva yonishu. Tanaham dvishatah kruran samsareshu naradhaman Shipam yajastram shubhan asurishveva yonishu. So until last sloka, Bhagavan was actually describing their gunas, the asura gunas. Now in the 18th he had concluded that now he is going to describe the treatment. Remember, Bhagavan does not hate them. Okay, but after going through this sloka, one might feel, is Bhagavan hating them? No, Bhagavan does not hate them. In fact, Bhagavan already said that he is within themselves also. He is within that body of the asura also. He said in that last sloka, 18th sloka. But he will say that I will push them more and more towards samsara. Okay, that is what he's going to say. Because we'll see why Bhagavan says I am going to push them more and more into samsara. Because only then the asura samskaras will get exhausted. Otherwise, they will not be able to lead a proper life. For example, if someone loves to sleep, they love to be lazy, they love to sleep always. For all we know, Bhagavan in the next birth will make them a cat. They give that person a cat's life, so that that person can sleep, be lazy. And that person can sleep to that extent and exhaust that vasana. Whichever samskara is overwhelming in a person, then if they are put in a position in which they are not able to exhibit that samskara, if they are in a situation where they will not be able to exhibit that samskara, they will not be comfortable. Whereas if they are put in the same situation where they are able to exhibit that samskara, they will be comfortable. If they are not, that will actually trouble them. If a person is very unclean, he's been always unclean. Now if we put that person in a very clean environment, everything is spick and span, then that person will be disturbed. He will not be able to think clearly. They will be only comfortable in an unclean place. Similarly, if a person wants constant activity in his life, he wants always people around. He wants to be in thick crowd. He wants to be always getting attention or talking to people. Always that kind of an environment. Then if he will not be able to enjoy a calm and serene place. You put him in a place where it is calm, green, quiet place, serene atmosphere, that person will become restless. And he might even say, some people have this, if they are put in this kind of place, they will say, it has got an eerie silence. It's like a cremation ground, they will say. They will not be able to relate to the positive analogy. For some persons, calm environment will make them feel good. For people who are rajo predominant, or even tamas predominant, they will not be able to enjoy a calm, serene environment. So this is what Bhagavan says. Here he says, Bhagavan says, Aham kshipami, Aham kshipami tan asurishu eva yonishu. Asurishu eva yonishu. Asurishu eva yonishu. Aham kshipami. Aham. Tanaham. We saw that, right? Tanaham. Where you will have to take aham from there. Aham kshipami. I throw. Bhagavan says, I throw. Whom does he throw? Tan. Tan means these people. These people. Where does he throw these people? Those people. He throws them to Asurishveva yonishu. Asurishu eva yonishu. Yoni means womb. Asurishveva means Asura wombs. Kshipami is throw. So I throw them, those people, into Asura worms. Asura worms mean here, they have been born as human beings. Human birth is very, very difficult to get. Just because we are born as a human being this life does not guarantee that we are going to get a human birth the next life. Human birth is only possible when for this prarabdha, whatever has been taken out of our sanchita karma, it comes up with an equal amount of papa punya. Only then a human life is possible. Human life is a rarest of rare according to our shastras. Now, having got this human life, human body, these asuras have been wasting their life, have been going around against the flow of spiritual growth. So he says, I will throw them into asura wombs. And asura wombs means inferior birth. So it can be within humans also, it can be an inferior human birth, as in very unclean environment, very bad location with no samskaras, all those kind of places. Or it may be an animal birth. It could be an insect, reptile, whatever. Or it could be even a plant birth. They could take a plant form, or it could be a birth in one of the lower lokas. We have, according to Shastra, there are 14 lokas. Bhu loka is this loka, and 6 above and 7 down. The 7 down are Atala Vitala, Sutala Rasatala, Mahatala, Talatala, Patala. There are about 7 of them. So it can be one of those 7 lokas also. And Bhagavan says, I throw those people into asura wombs. And when he says that, they can be born as in any of these places. And what happens if we get this kind of birth? Bhagavan says, samsareshu naradhaman. Samsareshu means it leads to further samsara, which will lead to further samsara. So once we go to further samsara, they will be more and more away from reality. That is what Bhagavan says. And now Bhagavan says, dvishataha. These people who tan, this tan is those people which are the asuras. He is qualifying them. He is actually giving them an adjective. He is telling them what kind of people they are. They are dvishataha. Dvishataha means haters. We already saw slanderers, they hate me. Bhagavan said in the previous sloka, He is again calling them out as haters. And what do they hate? Shankaracharya says, Sanmarga Pratipaksha Bhutan. He calls them as, when he says Dvishataha, it means they hate all the Sanmarga. They hate good people. They hate good advice. They will not be able to take any good advice. They will, once somebody gives them a good advice, they will really get angry. Sanmarga means non-religious life. Sanmarga means religious life. Haters, Dvishataha means they don't like religious life. Religious life disappears from them. You can see in some homes also, in some traditional homes, when you enter, you can feel the presence of Ishvara. You can feel Bhagavan's vibration there. There could be pictures hanging, there will be a puja room, there will be some bit of activity, you can feel the presence. But nowadays, many houses, they want to make pictures as secular pictures. In the living room, they clearly say, no Bhagavan pictures. We want to be secular. They don't want to show off their religion. They, as if showing off, it's actually a show off. So religion goes away in their life. And when religion goes, religious life also goes away. Religious practices goes away. So the pujas and the festivals also get converted to secular ones, or they spend more time in Western festivals than for Indian festivals. And of course, spirituality also disappears. So religion goes away. When religion goes away, religious life goes away, religious practices goes away, and spirituality also goes away. Dvishataha. They dislike all these things. They dislike anything that is religious. You can see in today's society also, a lot of people, they don't want to wear bindi, they don't want to have tilakam, because they don't want to declare their religion. They don't want to show that they are religious. They don't want to declare that I am a Vaidika, I am from this Vedic practices, I am from this Vedic religion. They don't want to exhibit. They don't want to feel proud of the culture. Feeling proud of culture, if somebody feels proud of their culture, they are seen as communal. We don't want anybody to be seen as Hindu. And even the names today are also chosen in such a way that it's not any of the Bhagavan's names. It's secular names. So all these Bhagavan's names are all going away. And it's only like Pinky, Chinky, whatever, all those neutral names, which does not reveal the identity of the person. In fact, some of the other religion, especially in down south in India, there are other religions who carry Hindu Bhagavan names, although they may be from a different religion. But in our own religion, we will not want to keep that name, because materialism is overwhelming. You have to show that you are secular. Anyway, Dvishataha here means haters of religious way of life. Sanmarga Prati, they have this hate. Pratipaksha Bhutam. And the reason is materialism. They hate God, anything related to Ishvara, Bhagavan. They hate temple. Ask them to visit a temple, they will not be able to visit a temple. They will say, at that point of time, they will say, what is the point? God is everywhere. Or they will say, I don't need to show off that I am religious by only going to temple. So all those things will come up. And many of them call themselves as agnostics. That's an easy excuse. At least if you say atheist, I will agree. At least you are clear. You don't believe in Ishvara, you don't believe in any of the gods, that's fine. But if you call yourself agnostic, I feel agnostic is is an excuse for people to, they are too religious, they are too lazy to be religious. That's why they call themselves agnostic. And yet they don't want to call themselves atheist because they fear that there might be some other supreme being there, and they don't want to be in the wrong books of that supreme being. So they comfortably, conveniently call themselves as agnostics to stay away from being religious, and yet at the same time don't want to be in the bad books of Ishvara, so to speak. Anyway, and these people, Bhagavan further describes them, they are Kruran. Kruran means cruel. And he says, he describes them three, Kruran, and then he says, Achara Rahitan. Kruran, Achara Rahitan, we had already seen that. Then basically, Daya Rahitan. Kruran means Daya Rahitan. There is no Daya. When a Jiva is undergoing pain, these people will not feel that compassion. They don't have the Daya. We saw that earlier in the when we described the Daiva Sampat. Daya Bhuteshu Luptam. Daya Bhuteshu. The Daya, compassion towards other beings is necessary. These people do not have any Daya or compassion. Some people eat non-veg, but they wouldn't want to see the animal being killed. They wouldn't want to go to a butcher shop because they don't want to see it being killed. Because they have that Daya. But it is only a little. Because the Daya goes away when the food is on the table. At that point of time, the tongue overpowers the Daya. So anyway, Daya Bhute, Daya here, Kruran means Daya Rahita. They have cruelty, they have cruel, they are cruel. And then they are Ashubhan. Ashubhan means impious. The exact word is Amangalam, we say. They are impious, they don't have Achara Rahita, basically. And then Naradhaman. They are the lowliest of the human beings. Lowliest among all the human beings. Naradhaman. Adhamam. That comes from the word Adhamam. Adhamam means lowest. And then he says, basically, Naradhaman also means lowliest, or we can also say Nara Sharira Mriga Gunan. They are people with human body with animal tendencies. Chinmayananda used to say that we have to transform ourselves from animal man. We are by nature, we have a lot of animal instincts in us. So from animal man, we'll have to change ourselves to man by getting all these good qualities, all the Daiva Sampat. And then from man, we can become God man. Once we get this jnana, then we become a God man. So from animal man to man to God man. And then Bhagavan says, I throw this aham shipami tan asurishi eva yonishu. I throw them into these asura homes not once. Bhagavan says, he says ajastram. Ajastram means again and again, perpetually. Next janma, they again exhibit this hate, cruelty, all this hating, this samsara, live this impious life. Then I throw them again back into asura homes. I throw these haters of mine, these impious, these cruel people, this lowliest among these human beings, I throw them perpetually into Asura wombs, which will lead to further samsara. This is what Sloka number 19 says. Now we'll go to Sloka number 20. Again, 20 is also continuing of the same topic. We'll go there. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Asurim Yonima Pannaha Muda Janmani Janmani Mama Prapyaiva Kaunteya Tato Yantyadhamam Gatim Asurim Yonima Pannaha Muda Janmani Janmani Mama Prapyaiva Kaunteya Tato Yantyadhamam Gatim. He's talking about the Gati. Tato Yantya Dhamam Gatim. The Gati of Asura. So where will they end up? We have already seen how they speak, how they behave, what is their words, what is their attitude, what is their anger, how is their anger. All those things we have seen. Now where do they end up with all these qualities? Asurim Yonim Apannaha. Apannaha means entering. So once they have been thrown into the Asura wombs, he is saying Asurim Apannaha Yonim. So entering this Asurim Yonim, after entering this Asuri Yonim, after entering the Asura wombs, who are these people? Mudaha. Mudaha means indiscriminate people. The opposite of a Viveki. A person who knows to discriminate is Viveki. A person who does not know to discriminate between what is right or what is right, what is wrong, does not discriminate between what is dharma, what is adharma, that person is called Muda. Who does not, Mudaha, here also we can also say one who does not understand the value of human birth. He is a Mudaha. Human birth is very rare. There is a Tamil saying there, Ippiravi tappinal eppiravi vaikumo yedu mariyen paraparame. I don't know if I don't get, if I miss this life, I don't know when will I get another human birth. So Mudaha, these people who are indiscriminate people, who do not understand the difference between right and wrong, who does not differentiate between dharma and adharma, who does not understand the value of human birth. So even entering these Asuri wombs, these people, these Mudaha, Janmani, birth after birth, every birth, what happens to them? Aprapya, Mam Aprapya. They do not reach where? Mam Eva. They do not reach me at all. They do not get moksha at all. They do not see me at all. So they take different birth. Birth after birth, they do not get the opportunity to reach me at all. So they will not get the opportunity to do the sadhanas. They do not get the opportunity to learn Bhagavad Gita. They do not get the opportunity to be in the right company. They do not get the opportunity to attain moksha. And here Mam does not mean the Bhagavan sitting in Vaikunta or Kailasha, this, Atma joining that Atma. When we say Mam Eva, do not reach me at all, means they do not understand the Paramarthika Tattva. They don't get to understand the Aham Brahmasmi. They don't understand, they don't get that jnana. Because for getting jnana, what is the two main qualifications? The two main qualifications or two necessary things that we need to get moksha is, first and foremost, it has to be a human birth. Only human births can get moksha. because you get jnana and you need human birth. The second thing is you need satsanga. You need to be in satsanga to understand what these things. But these people, they hate satsanga. Dvishataha, Bhagavan said. So they don't get an opportunity at all. And because they don't get an opportunity to be in satsanga, they do not have access to moksha. That is, this human birth is very important. That's why when we actually come to Vedanta itself, even in the introduction to Vedanta, I would have described, we would have explained the importance of human birth. Human birth is very important. And to have clarity on Purushartha is even more important. It's very difficult. Because only when we have clarity on Purushartha, whether it is going to be, what is going to be my purpose, whether it is going to be Artha, Kama, Dharma or Moksha, that clarity we should get. And then once we get that clarity, we'll be able to pursue. But even to get the clarity, we have to have a human birth first. So if we do not make use of this Janma, the loss is ours. So what do the Asuras get here? Yanti tato, yanti tataha, yanti tataha adamam gatim. Yanti means they fall into. Where do they fall into? Tataha adamam gatim. Still lower condition. They fall still lower. So the Bhagavan is stressing the importance of human birth here and the time we get here. If we do not make use of it and if we fall into the Asura ways of living, then we will fall into further lower condition. Somehow we have got this human birth, somehow we have got some mumukshutvam, somehow we have got some interest in spirituality, somehow we have got this interest in Vedanta, somehow we have got this interest in spirituality, this Shastras. We will have to ensure that we build on it. We should retain it. We should not let it slip away from us. We should improve on it and we should pursue further on this. Whether we get human birth in the next life or not does not matter. At least in this life, we should not let go of this opportunity. And Bhagavan is explaining all this to who? Kaunteya. Mam aprapyaiva kaunteya. O Arjuna, this is what the Asura people will get. This is the gati that they will get. This is where they will reach after their death. So this is the gati between 19 and 20. Now in Sloka 20, Bhagavan is basically going to summarize all the Asura gunas into 3. And he will complete this section. And it is a very important sloka. It is an often quoted sloka. And it's a very important sloka to remember. We'll see the Sloka 21. Shri Bhagavan Trividam Narakasyedam Dwaram Nashanam Atmanah Kama Krodastata Lobah Tasmadetattrayam Tyajet Trividam Narakasyedam Dwaram Nashanam Atmanah Kama Krodastata Lobah Tasmadetattrayam Tyajet. So far Bhagavan has described all the Asura gunas in detail. Now in this sloka, he summarizes all these gunas into 3 gunas. And he says, these 3 gunas alone are the ones that manifest into all things that we spoke about. Whatever gunas we had spoken about all this while can be summarized or can be condensed into 3 gunas. I think there are other gunas that Bhagavan probably didn't talk about probably which are the ones that we may able to identify among ourselves, within ourselves, but doesn't matter, because all this can be summarized into three. In fact, later on he is going to bring them until one only. Now he is actually summarizing into three. And one more thing also Bhagavan does in this sloka. Whenever we want to know, whenever we come to know of a new place, we always would want to know how to go there. Somebody said that, Northern Lights is very nice to see. Okay, you want to go to Norway, then how do you go? Where do you change flights? How do you go there? We want to know the route. Or somebody says Antarctica, then where do you change to a ship? Where flight do you want to go? You always want to know the route of a very new place. So similarly, Bhagavan is going to give a route to a new place. The place is basically hell, and he says what is the route to hell. He is going in that also in this sloka. So he says, Trividam narakasyedam. Trividam narakasyedam dwaram. Idam trividam dwaram. He says, this threefold gateway. There is a threefold gateway where narakasya, to hell. So the gate to hell, or the hell, has got three gates. To Narakam. Narakam is hell. So there is a threefold gateway to hell. And what is Narakam? Narakam is explaining Atmanaha Nasham. Atmanaha Nasham. Nashan Matmanaha. Basically, you'll have to split that as Atmanaha Nashanam. It is the cause of one's own destruction. The threefold gateway to hell is the cause of one's own destruction. So basically, to go to hell, you just need to have these three things. Or if you have these three things, you will go to hell. Or to self-destruct oneself, we need to have these three qualities. Or even if we have one quality, that is enough for us to self-destruct. And what are these three qualities? Kamaha, Krodhaha, Tata, Lobhaha. We know these words. We've seen this again and again. Kamaha, desire. Krodhaha, anger. Lobhaha, greed. Kamah, Krodhas, Tata, Lobhaha. So these three are the qualities that are needed for somebody. It's like passport. Once you have this, or these are the gateway to hell. If we have this, we are certain to go to hell. Desire. We know that. We have seen this enough. Krodhaha. We have also seen that anger. Anger is basically an expression of hatred, vengeance, whatever. Greed. Lobhaha. That inability to share things with others, inability to part with things, that lobha buddhi, to keep everything for oneself, is called lobha. The opposite of lobham is dhanam. Remember, dhanam is good, but also we have also seen dhanam also has to be qualified. There are sattvika dhanam, rajasa dhanam, tamasa dhanam also. Some people donate. They donate things, but they also insist that the other person should not share that with anyone. So even while giving, they have a dotted line responsibility. They give a dotted line ownership to themselves. They will say, you have to keep it. If you are going to share it with somebody else, you will have to ask me before you do that. So that is what I'm giving you that, but I am not letting go of my ownership. So that here also that lobam is hidden. So it still says it is still mine, although I'm giving it to you. So dhanam, so lobam, kama, krodha, lobam. And we know desire manifests into the other two. Kamaha only converts itself into krodha and also converts itself into lobam. If the desire does not get fulfilled, and if the reason for that desire not to be fulfilled is someone else or something else, then it manifests as anger on that other person. And the intensity of the anger is equal to the intensity of the desire. So we may have given a small object to somebody, to a very favorite person. He may not be a person whom we hate. We like that person, we give this favorite thing. But if this person is expensive, and that if the object is expensive and that person breaks it or loses it, then we get angry. And even if it is not expensive, if I actually have a lot of value for it, if it is something that I really like, and I give it to this person, and this person loses it or breaks it or whatever, then also I get angry. And this time what happens? The anger does not depend on the monetary value. It depends on my emotional value. It depends on my attachment towards that object. So anger comes out of attachment. Here when we say desire, it means attachment. So anger comes out of attachment. Suppose if the same person loses something, or drops something, or breaks something that which we do not value much. In fact, we wanted to actually get rid of, this person has dropped it. Then we will talk philosophy. We will say we are not supposed to get angry if things go wrong. If that person has done, obviously committed a not voluntarily, it was involuntary, it happened, there was nothing done on purpose. We will put all those things because we don't have the desire or attachment on the object. The moment we see something that we have too much of attachment on, then all these things will change. So desire or attachment itself is the one that actually manifests itself as anger. And once we achieve what we desire, once we get what we want, we do not want to lose it. We do not want to lose it. We want to hold on to it. And that is called as lobam. And the lobam will be there as long as we desire that object. Once, the moment we do not desire that object, the moment the desire on that object is reduced, not because we have become spiritually mature, it may be that just that our attachment has gone from this object or this person or this relation or this situation to another object, another person, another situation, whatever it is. So then this desire reduces, then we are ready to let go of things. Then we will become a dana karta. We'll be ready to donate this. Whatever will be the object, if it is with me and I desire it, it will definitely turn into lobam. And once we have lobam, we will not give it, we will not want to share it. We will in fact tend to hide it, because we will get fear that somebody else may ask for it, take it, break it, whatever it is, lose it. So we will try to even tend to hide it. And because we want to attain what we desire, so this is after we desire, but if it is still something to be attained, if we want to attain what we desire, we'll get feelings of hatred. Because I want to have that, I don't want anybody else to compete for it. And anybody else competing for the same object, same relation, same person, same situation, I find that person, I dislike that person, I get hatred in my mind. And we would not mind cheating. I do not mind cheating a bit to acquire it. So what? I want to get that promotion. So what? I would want to get that particular thing. We would not mind lying. We would not mind cheating. All asura gunas will come, and all lying, cheating, hatred, everything comes out of desire, attachment. It's just like the noodles. We pick one, the other one automatically starts coming together. Similarly, if we just pick kama, the desire, attachment, that is enough. Then it will be like just like noodles. The other asura gunas will start coming automatically. Krodham, lobham, moham, cheating, all those lying, hatred, all these things will come. Himsa, everything will start coming. So Bhagavan says he's splitting them into three. And later, as I said, he will only say Kamaha is responsible. Kama alone is good enough. But here he's saying Kama, Krodha, Lobha. All three has become our Swabhava. When we say Kama, how should we understand? Understand, we are not talking about dharmic desires here. Dharmic desires are not considered to be gateway to heaven. Gateway to hell. Because a dharmic desire by itself is not bad and it will not do any himsa to anybody else. But a dharmic desire should also be achieved through dharmic means. Some people have dharmic desire, but they may look for adharmic means to achieve it. Or the desire itself may be adharmic. So we are talking about either adharmic desires or using adharmic means. Dharmic desire. I'm hungry, I want to eat. That is dharmic desire. But I'm hungry, I want to steal and eat. That becomes adharmic. Because the desire itself dharmic, but the means are adharmic. So we are talking about dharmic desire, and dharmic means is fine. What we are talking about, trividam narakas yedam dwaram nashan matmanah kama krodhas tata lobha. Here when we talk about this kama, we are talking about adharmic desires. And Bhagavan is talking about adharmic desires or adharmic means here. So how should we our growth be? First, we should let go of adharmic desires. Any desire that comes to our mind, whether it is dharmic or adharmic, if it is adharmic, we should let go. Then fulfill dharmic desires through dharmic means. Then stage 2, we will have to bring moderation in dharmic desires also. Because anything in excess will create problem. Anything in excess will also cause us atmanaha nashanam. It will also create our own destruction. So in the initial stages, it is okay to indulge in all sensory pleasures and all those things. As long as it's dharmic, it's fine. But we should learn to even reduce our dharmic desires through karma yoga. We'll see about karma yoga later. Second chapter, later part, and the third chapter, third chapter is karma yoga. We'll see how we have to do it. So karma yoga. Then stage 3, all these moderated, limited desires that we have, they will have to be converted into non-binding desires. Non-binding desires meaning I am converting my desires into preferences, basically. Which means my mind will not get disturbed whether the desire gets fulfilled or not. If it's fulfilled, I'm happy. If it's not fulfilled, it's okay. Because desires, as long as the mind is there, there will be desires. Even jnanis will have desires, but it will not bind them. Shankaracharya definitely should have a desire to, write Bhaja Govindam Bhashyam for everything. Otherwise, he wouldn't have written all those things. It is okay to write, it is okay to have the desire, but it cannot be binding. Saying, if I am not able to do it, I will get into depression, I will get angry, I will have problems, I will become depressed. All those things should not be there. So, question is then, how do I identify which desires of mine are non-binding desires? Then that is the next question. A desire, when it gets fulfilled, if it does not turn into lobam, that is a non-binding desire. A desire, when it is not fulfilled, if it does not turn into anger or sorrow, is a non-binding desire. I feel like going out for a walk today. It is raining. It's okay. I'll let it go. It's a non-binding desire. I want to go for a movie tonight. I am not getting a cab. I get angry. Binding desire. So we know when a desire does not get fulfilled, if it turns into sorrow or anger, it is a binding desire. If it's fulfilled, and if it turns into greed or lobam, I want to hold on to it. I am very careful of it. I am extremely careful. I don't want others to see it. I don't want others to touch it. Binding desire. So when Bhagavan says desire becomes gateway to hell, he means these three. Adharmic desires, number one, or it could be dharmic desires but fulfilled by adharmic means, that is number two, or three is overindulgent desires. Overindulgent desires. Greedy desires. Greed. In Tamil also, same thing is there in Tamil. See, it says Atmanaha Nashanam. In Tamil they say Perasai Perunashtam. Greed will take you down. It will cause one's own destruction. Perasai, selfish desires. And the same thing is also said. Perasai Perunashtam is the same thing here. Because of greed, the desire, selfish desires, we are bound to go to hell. So this is one. Krodham. Now we have to see how, we have seen how to remove anger. We have seen that in detail. But we have to just understand this parent of anger is basically desire. So if we monitor our desire, our anger will automatically go down. And another way to remove anger is basically acceptance. If I am able to fulfill the desire, fine. If I am not able to fulfill the desire, I am okay. I am accepting it. So acceptance of situation that I am in, acceptance of whatever possessions that I have. I shouldn't feel I should have that, I should have this, I wish I want to have that. That is all kind of attachment, binding desires. Because which I am saying, my happiness will come only if I have that particular object, or that particular relation, or that particular situation. So acceptance of situation, acceptance of people around us, acceptance of relations around us, acceptance of the possession that I have. If I am able to get that, then my anger will be reduced, my desire will also be controlled. Of course, forgiveness, because anger comes out of vengeance, hatred. Some people has done something bad to me, I want to give it back, I want to pay back. So obviously one other thing to reduce anger, forgiveness, not carrying hatred, not carrying vengeance. Another reason why we get angry, impatience. I waited for you so long, although this person could be somebody I like, but this person made me wait in the hot sun for too long. I get angry. So patience is one other way to reduce anger. So all these things help in reducing anger. We have seen this detail earlier, so I'm not going to go through that. Again, don't cannot expect everything to go off in one day. Do not expect things to turn. Tomorrow I wake up, I do not have anger. Tomorrow I wake up, there is no more attachment for me. It doesn't happen that way. It is not possible. Don't even try it. Because what happens tomorrow, from tomorrow, if we say, I don't want to become angry, I become a nice person, we'll become angry. So we'll fail. And our anger will only multiply. Because of the original anger, and also because we have failed in what we wanted to do. This desire becomes unfulfilled desire. So anger inside us is a habit. So we have to remove it gradually. It cannot be done overnight. Then lobam. Lobam, I've told you, this is the defining guna of humans. Every human being, inherently, most of them, unless they are endowed with Daiva Sampat Guna, some of this ability to share guna, unless they have it, most of them, the defining guna of a human being is lobha, not willing to share with others. Sometimes even parents teach their children, do not share your food with anyone, do not share whatever I give it for you, it's only for you, do not share it with others. You only you should eat what I give you, you should not share it with others. So this lobham is fed. Lobham is in our swabhava, and we further develop it. And if we come to know what is the loss by having lobham, then we will probably quit or renounce this. What is the loss that one might have, or what is the loss that one might get by having lobham? That we will see it in the next class. Any questions or comments? Okay. Then we'll see again in the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Swasti Prajabhya Paripalayantam Nyayena Markena Mahimahishah. Go Brahmanebhyo Shubhamastu Nityam Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Hari Om Sri Guru Pyo.